Tax filing season kicks off today, woohoo, with free filing online for folks who earn less than $58,000 and don't make itemized deductions. In other words, not everybody. But for some new features for filing, have some folks raising their eyebrows. For more on this, David Selig joins us. He's with Selig and Associates Tax Representation. David, welcome. Great to see you.
Thank you for having me on. Big fan.
Oh, you're very kind. So I think there's been a lot of confusion about what the IRS is doing this year because we've had some changes in the tax code. They've been worried about getting everything out on time. And they finally told us, you know what, if you're expecting to get your refund early, you can forget about that right now. What do you want to tell people who want to file early and get their refund?
Well, be careful. First of all, right now, if you're going to itemize your return, you can't file just yet. And the fault is really not with the Internal Revenue Service. It has to deal with our elected
Congress?
officials. Absolutely. They advanced really a bad argument from the beginning, and they ran out the clock, and now these poor folks at the IRS are working around the clock to try to rectify the situation.
It's so easy to blame the IRS, though,
Absolutely.
isn't it? All right, you say there may be some problems that haven't materialized yet. What do you mean by that?
Well, that's really anybody's guess because the expiration of the so-called Bush tax cuts, we're going to change the whole way you would be able to treat certain expenses, particular deductions and credits and such. They're working, I assume, diligently to make sure there's no glitches in the system, but we won't really know until they materialize.
Anything could happen. You're really going to have to watch what's going on and watch your mailbox for letters from the IRS because anything could happen here. Now, we had a story yesterday about the government giving refunds on debit cards this year, and everybody seemed to be a big fan of the idea, but you were not. Why not?
I am not a fan. I think it is a bad business to begin with. First of all, the argument from the government is that they are going to save a lot of money by not having to mail out these checks. Additionally, these so-called public advocate groups and such, which are, whether they're real or not remains to be seen, says these individuals are being victimized by high-interest refund anticipation loans, as if a bank does not have a right to charge interest to lend monies.
But the interest rates are high on those loans.
Well, these debit cards are not without fees either.
Okay.
Moreover, the system hasn't even been enacted, and it's already rife with fraud. Particularly,
how so?
I'm going to tell you. What happens is the cutoff here is, I believe, $58,000 that you can file for this and receive your refund on a debit card. The earned income credit, the maximum you can earn if you are married and have 3 dependents, is $48,365. The problem is in the Internal Revenue Code. IRC 152 allows people to deduct dependents in Mexico and who aren't even living here. And the problem is that is rife with fraud. It's so hard to verify whether these are real dependents or just made up. So if you take 4 million of these filers, and by the way, this filer can be undocumented, legal or otherwise, apply for a TIN, every dependent they take, they get a write-off of $3,650 that they wouldn't otherwise be entitled to. And that has nothing to do with the earned income credit, which can exceed $12,000. So our cost just from one fraudulent deduction out of 4 million filers exceeds $14 billion. The debit card,
David,
yeah.
Fascinating.
It's huge numbers, but when you add the earned income credit, it exceeds $20 billion annually, and I would challenge any sitting congressman or senator to refute these figures because they're real, and these are very conservative extrapolations.
Well, tax credits are areas of huge fraud. Absolutely true. We're running out of time here, David. I really enjoyed speaking with you. You have to come back.
Thank you very much.
All right. If you're fired up about this or any of the issues on the program, just drop us an email to willisreport@foxbusiness.com.